When I got back home from the hospital after surviving my heart attack and I walked through the front door for the first time, I went and sat on the couch. I looked across at my family photos and I realised something. I thought I had looked at them for the last time the week before. See, when I walked back through my front door of the cottage into my kitchen, I went into the living room and I was met with the scenes from the week before. Cushions on the floor, there was a bucket, my towel. I sat down and I looked across at the photos of my family on the sideboard and I thought to myself, I thought I had seen them for the last time the week before. Sitting in the living room looking around, I thought I had seen everything in here for the last time. And fear and anxiety set in pretty quick. I was very overwhelmed and very emotional sitting there, thinking all these things, taking myself back to the week before, to the night of my heart attack. And I would go to bed at night, head on the pillow, and I would tune right into my heart. I would hear it beating and I would speak to it and I would say, please keep beating through the night. Please let me wake up in the morning and have one more day. And those thoughts took a long time to get out of my head. And I was following all the doctor's advice. I was taking my medications. I was relaxing. I was taking it easy, doing everything that they said. And a couple of months later, I got invited out to the works too. It was great to see the lads again. It was Christmas. We had a few pints and I suddenly got a great sense of euphoria and I had quite a lot of pints. I was happy it was Christmas. I was happy to be back with the lads, back in the crack again. This was me. I woke up the next day. I was not too proud of myself. And another month went by, following the plan, building myself up, and I returned back to work. I was fit enough. And so, fit enough back to work, but I was always thinking, my mind was always on my body, and especially my heart. I was just so tuned into my heart beating. And I started to go out at weekends to cafes and bars, and I was just looking for a bit of company, people to meet to. I was just trying to get back to my old self. And I started to have a few pints, but a few pints led to a few more pints. And I would find myself in this great sense of euphoria of being alive. I was so happy. And quite honestly, I was kicking the arse out of it. And this went on for a few months. And I knew that this couldn't last. I had to have a word with myself. But there was a lot of confusion and there was a lot of anger. I was missing that person who I was before. The person who didn't need to think all these thoughts about your heart and about medication and things like that. But I had to accept it. I had to accept what I'd been through, and I had to accept that things had changed. My diet was good. I was always cooking fresh food for myself. I always have done. The work was good. I was physically fit. I was enjoying things. But the anger and the questioning, the confusion, the drinking, that wasn't serving who I was becoming. I wasn't the same man that went out the door that night of my heart attack. I was different. I was different now. And different was okay. I was looking inside myself a lot more. I was doing a lot more searching. I've always been quite spiritual. I've always been a searcher. But I was getting more involved in that. I was still taking all my medications, and I started to do meditations and look into that side of practice. And I found that really helping me to just steady myself, to calm myself down, to slow down. And I was different. I was becoming different. Every morning when I woke up, I put my feet on the floor. I gave gratitude and thanks for another day on this planet. And if you're in that trying to figure it out stage of who you are, the 7 Day Mind Reset plan that I put together in the early days, it came from all that confusion, trying to figure it out. I'll leave the description below. It's free. It's something that might help. It's there if you want it. And if you are trying to figure out who you're becoming, or you know who you are now, please leave me a comment below and let me know. This is Stronger After the Storm. I'm Doogie. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.